Hello everybody, and today I'm gonna show you 10 things you can do in Create. And a lot of you probably don't know the things you can do in Create, so I'm gonna show you in this video. And the first project you can have is some sort of train slash car. And what I have here is just the front of a train. It looks very ugly, but if you know how to make trains or cars, you can make that. So we're gonna press this. We have already pressed it, and now we press this and quickly get in the train. So as you see there, it gets very slow because we are at a station. This is our starting station, and when we get out of the station here, and you can see it gets a lot faster there. And when we move into a new station, it gets very slow for all the other passengers to get in. Of course, you can make it a lot bigger, but mine is just here for a little demonstration. And I think it could look very cool if you actually made a thing like this. Yeah, and when you're done, you just destroy the minecart under it, and your train is where it all started. Now the next thing is if you wanted revenge on your friend. If you are on a multiplayer server and your friend just recently griefed you, this is a very good trick you can pull on them. This encased fan, make sure that it's on full speed so it gets the maximum range, and get a nozzle on top of the encased fan. And then you have a piston that's like just a pulse repeater here, repeating signal, and this will go up into the redstone and block, and we'll do something like this. We will just launch TNT into your friend's base. So even if they have a mod that makes claims like PPBs, chunks, so you can claim chunks, you can still build this outside your base and destroy your friends' houses with this. It's a really fun way to destroy your friend's base if you wanted the revenge, but I will suggest not to do it if you are on a multiplayer server. That will really suck, and you will probably get banned. Now the next one is actually a item store, and you probably think that's very boring, but it actually is very easy to make. You just need a belt, mechanical belt here, to go all the way from point A to point B, for how long you wanted it to be. If it reaches its maximum point, you can always just make another, and there. And then of course, when you power this on, it's very slow, but we can just take it on full. If you want this to go the same way, I will suggest a encased chain drive. It's very easy to make. Then it will get smoothed out with the same speed and the same way. If you wanted to do the opposite way, you can make a gearbox and just make the same here. So what we have here is some funnels with a filter on. Make sure it's a brass funnel so it can have this thing up on top. So this is dirt for dirt, this is for stone, cobblestone, and this is for a filter. So this is for a specific filter. If you do this should get in cobblestone, there, brass, and stone. And for the filter, the netherite barrel should go right in there. Yep. And the same with the brass funnel. Yep. And if this decides to overflow, the system just moves on and doesn't get stuck. If we can demonstrate that this is full. There can't be anything more. It moves on to the next thing. Now the next thing is to make an automated crafter. There's two ways I will suggest doing this. One way is just to have a automated crafter. The thing with this is that it's connected, so if we just unconnect it, this is what it should look like for you guys at the start. It should look like this, and you can take these on individual and take these, and when it's done, it will assemble itself and actually go up in the chest, so that's pretty cool. But if you want to have automated one thing, and I don't really know how to make it with other materials than one, so maybe a block you want, you can do that by connecting all these and just put a bunch of iron ore in here. Of course, it's not as fast as a normal one, but it does it automated and it's very nice. This is also very satisfying to watch. Next thing I will suggest is maybe make a farm of some sort. This is a very simple one, but it's very efficient if you just stop the contraption. These are just some mechanical harvesters that will harvest all the crops and actually lay them down afterwards, so you don't have to plant them immediately if they are fully grown and got harvested. So I will show you how it looks in action. If you just take some bone meal, there, start it up, destroy it, plant it again, and put it in a chest. Get it through the portable storage interface, get through the brass funnel, and into the chest. This is actually made a lot. It's very efficient if you have it on a bigger level, and I think you can make something good about at this level. Like, it's very simple and you don't need a lot of materials to do this, so we'll greatly suggest this. Now, if you want to get funky and want to make a disco, but don't have anyone to dance with, you can have an arm do it for you. You can have an arm dance with you. So take your favorite music disc, let it take it in the music disc, and let it dance. So how you do this is just connect a cogwheel to this and make it, of course, have some power. And then before you place this, shift right click on the things it should take things from, and shift right click 2 times to deposit those items. Now, you have seen it turn day and night, and you probably think, why don't you just do game rule do daylight cycle to false? And that's because of this thing. And there's actually a block that can make a clock, and this is the clockwork bearing. If you place this block and make a linear chassis on here and do this, this is the hour thing. So every hour, or this is every minute, but for that it is hours. And if you have a secondary linear chassis, it will count the minutes. So if you do this now, this will do like and do not connect them together. Do not glue them together. They just need to be here. This you can do with any blocks you want to. But if you wanted to make it longer, you of course need if you wanted another block other than the chassis, you will need to glue them together. Just not to the chassis, the hour chassis. So the next thing is a cow farm, and this is not very efficient, but this is just what you can do. Try to make a farm you already have done, but with create. So what I have done here is just made the same concept as with the TNT one. So we have a nozzle that. So we have a nozzle thing that takes everything in this radius with them, and then it comes down. You can just spawn some more cows in, and then we turn it off. They get in here. I breed them and kill them. When I'm done with that, I pull this lever and pull this lever and this. It's very inefficient, but maybe there is another way to make it more efficient. I don't know. But in the next project for farms is probably to transform your redstone farms to a create farm. It's very creative and fun to do. Another fun thing to do is traveling a lot, but it can also be a lot of work and it's very annoying. So what I have made here is a way to travel, 2 ways to travel actually. Now I have just made it in a circle, but if you don't want to walk a long way, you can make this go for thousands of blocks, and I think it's more efficient than walking. The other one is mechanical belts. Those are actually also pretty good because you can run on them, so you can get absolute more speed than these, I think. So it comes up to what you prefer the most, and it's actually just fun to just do nothing. If there's a long way, you can just take a cup of milk and get back in a few minutes and maybe you're there. Now the last thing is actually inspiration. I have inspiration from the update, Think Bigger update. So when you don't have anything to do with Creed because you don't know what to do, what I will do is try to build something very big, and what you can do when you're finished, you can use a schematic and krill, do this. Maybe I want to have this, or maybe I want that in my survival world. I can place this here and all the way over there and copy it. And now I've just copied that 2x4 or 2x1, but so I will just call it dirt wall. And when you have your schematic here, you can, if you are in a survival world, you can take a schematic and krill, find the dirt wall and turn it into a schematic, and get some gunpowder and get a book so you know the recipe or the things you need. Before you take it in the schematic cannon, make sure to place the schematic and then put it in. And when it's ready, take a book and put it in here, and you can see here what you need: 2 dirt, 2 grass. Put it in the chest besides the schematic cannon, and boom, it will start placing. And when it says that, boom, it has been finished, and this is now a empty schematic. So the last thing is to try to build something big, because with Create you can really go big, and actually also go big into your survival worlds. Maybe copy the survival world or maybe copy the base you have built in creative, and make sure to have all ingredients or all the blocks. Or maybe just you want to replace a building. You can also do that in your survival world. There's a lot of things you can recreate with this schematic thing. That was 10 projects you can do in Create. If you want to see more modded stuff like this, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. And I'll see you in my next videos.